have Chris Miller. Chris Miller is a first-time legislator. He lives in Oakland, Illinois, where he was born and raised. After graduating from Oakland High School, Chris attended Eureka College and obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in education. Later, Chris attended Lakeland College and received an associate's degree in agriculture. He is a third-generation farmer, raises Angus cattle. Chris and his wife, Mary, have been married for 37 years. They have 7 children and 14 grandchildren. And from what I hear, anyone who knows Chris knows he's not afraid to tell you what's on his mind. So let's hear what's on his mind right now.
I know why you had 45 on your mind. You were thinking Trump 45. I tell you what, I was getting a little bit nervous there when he said he was wanting to get a gun in and I was afraid that we were saying the head, not the hand. And so I was really relieved when Darren came forth with that. But I know that my wife also is here in the audience, and she's the mother of a mighty nation. You know, we can brag that all of our children and spouses and parents and in-laws voted for Trump. I know a lot of times that politicians have a problem telling you things the way they are. And the first thing I would like to know is, you guys want me to tell you the truth this afternoon? You want me to stand up here and lie to you? Thank you. Because that's what I do best. I know sometimes I make Brad and Blaine and Darren a little bit nervous sometimes whenever I have a hot mic. But one of the things that I found interesting is after the election from November to January, I heard how that we were going to be bipartisan and how we were all going to reach across the aisle and how we were all going to work together. Have you guys ever known Democrats to lie? Yes. Well, one of the first things that we do as an order of business in the House of Representatives is we adopt the House rules. And if you guys want the cliff notes on what the House rules are, they're this: that nothing happens unless Mike Madigan says so. But one of the things that we did as a Republican caucus, we had about 5 or 6 recommendations before we had voted to adopt the House rules. But the ones that really stuck out to me was that we asked if we could have 24 hours to look at a bill before we voted on it. I mean, keep this in mind that even Nancy Pelosi, flying around on her broom in D.C., gives them 3 days to vote on any bills that come forward. But the thing that I mean, you won't find this shocking, but when we asked for 24 hours, you know, they thought they would give us 1. And it was unanimous. Democrats said, nope, we will not give you 24 hours. And I thought to myself, well, I guess there goes bipartisanship. But anyway, the first 60 days have been pretty interesting. And, you know, there's one thing that I have discovered is that the blue model of governing with envy, greed, and ungratefulness, tax, borrow, and spending does not work now. It won't work later. It has never worked. And we're going to try to make a change. And one thing that I am grateful for, and that's to be involved in Restore Illinois. You know, it's great that others are joining us in this quest to make Illinois great again and to change the way that we do business. One of the things that I have concluded after 60 days in Springfield is that all bad bills come from Chicago. That's right. Yes. And I know that I've been accused of being narrow-minded, immature, and all those things when I've said that publicly. But I can give credence to that comment, because let's think this through. Okay, all of the attacks on the Second Amendment have come out of where? Chicago. A taxpayer funded of killing babies came from Chicago. The attack on small businesses that sell personal protection equipment came from Chicago. The attack on coal came from Chicago. The attack on oil came from Chicago. The attack on the legalization of dope came out of Chicago. The promotion of addictions came out of Chicago. The attack on family values came out of Chicago. The $15 minimum wage came out of Chicago. Unfunded mandates on our schools came out of Chicago. Feminine hygiene products in the boys' bathroom came out of Chicago. Stealing from the pension. I'm not making this stuff up. This is actually going on. Stealing from our pension program comes out of Chicago. Raising taxes comes out of Chicago. You know, we can't even have a cotton-picking circus in the state of Illinois with an elephant because the people from Chicago outlawed elephants in Illinois. And I'm not making that up either. But the thing that I would like to get, are you starting to see a pattern? Is there a pattern developing here? And we have to say, of course there is. One thing that I would like to say about the people that are, the men and women that are involved in restoring Illinois, is that we will not be intimidated. We will not be intimidated. We can't be bought. We cannot be bought. And I'm going to tell you one other thing, is that we will not be silent. You gotta humor me one more time. We are number one in all the wrong areas. We're number one in the highest real estate taxes. We're number one in the highest property taxes. We're number one in all the categories that you don't want to be number one in. But what we want to do is we want to change that. And we want to become number one in all the right categories. This is a crowd participation moment. On the count of three, I want you to give me one clap, okay? Can you do that? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. The reason why I do that is because we want to be number one in faith, we want to be number one in family, and we want to be number one in freedom. God bless you, and God bless the United States